Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for a watch-along today. Preston versus Reading in the top half of the Championship up in Preston, where there's not too much snow by the look of the pictures. It is hammering it down and laying as I look out the window here in Bedfordshire. Let me know if you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly, and get your predictions in for this one. We'll be watching along, having a good old debate in the chat, no doubt, and doesn't just have to focus on the game. Remember, this weekend, FA Cup fourth round, so only 4 Championship fixtures. We had Watford winning at Stoke Friday. We had Derby winning at QPR yesterday. So third and fourth fixtures today. We've got Blackburn and Middlesbrough later on. Before we go any further, let me just get my plugs in, as we always do. Thank you to Charlie Frost, 30 years of Law Royal. Here's to many more. He is the sponsor of our live watch-alongs on the channel. You too can get involved in such jollities by subscribing on Patreon. The best way to support the channel is over there. You can also support via Super Chat at any point during the broadcast, and the first Super Chatter of every stream becomes the king of the bin and owns the sponsorship for the incredibly juvenile but excessively popular Fake News Sin Bin. As ever, though, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, please hit the like button. It does help. It takes you just a second. Subscribe, ring the bell for notifications if you haven't already done so, and get involved, most importantly, in the comments. I've just put BBC One on, and Chelsea have taken the lead against Luton. Timo Werner cutting the ball back, and Tammy Abraham firing home right-footed across Simon Sluga. So Chelsea lead 1-0 in the Mick Harford derby. We can also have a look at that one at half-time, because they just kicked off 15 minutes ahead. So the second half will be starting as our first half at Reading Preston will be finishing. Let me know if you're watching. Say hi in the chat. We'll go to the comments in just a minute. Let's have a look at the teams. There is your Preston team. I don't know how long Declan Rudd is out for, but they've brought in Daniel Everson as cover on loan from Leicester. He starts in goal. Alan Brown, having signed a new contract always gets farmed out to right back when there's a gap. Darnell Fisher on the bench there, a dedicated right back, maybe a walking yellow card, but still a central midfielder over a right back, essentially there. Huntington and Davis, still no news on Davis' contract, with Hughes making up the back four. Ledson and Whiteman is the double pivot. Whiteman arriving from Doncaster. I've said Alex Neil now shaping essentially a new Preston team, isn't he? He's going to be moving on from Pearson, who looks like he's going to leave. Gallagher, who's 35 now, isn't he? Johnson may well be leaving, and we see Whiteman as possibly a long-term solution in that position with Ledson there. Sinclair, Mollenby, who also has arrived on loan from Brighton, and Potts, Reese up top. So a lot of sort of familiar Preston names. I'm thinking Maguire, Barkhuizen on the bench there, Gallagher on the bench, Johnson, Fisher, Rafferty. It does feel like Alex Neil is starting. I know he rotates a lot, and ultimately some of these players will come back, starting to move in a slightly different direction with Potts and Mollenby, Reese, Ledson, Whiteman, all starting games recently. For Reading, they're as stable as ever. Just a few injuries causing a struggle for them. Chelsea have just gone 2-0 up. I'm just going to cut away and have a look at that goal. Looks like Tammy Abraham has scored a second. Chelsea 2 up against Championship Luton in 17 minutes. Come on, BBC, bit slow with their replay here. We'll come to the Reading team just after we've seen that goal. Here we are. Played out to the right-hand side. Reece James, looks like Ziyech, back to James, crossed in, and Abraham, 6-yard box. Nice little floaty cross by James. Abraham in the 6-yard box, or just outside it. Heads in over Sluga's head, 2-0. So Luton look done in that one already after just 16 minutes. Lovely cross by Reece James, actually, who we loved in the Championship, didn't we, at Wigan? And Abraham gets his second, maybe a morale-boosting win for Chelsea. Anyway, let's get back into this. The Reading team there. Raphael, as ever, in goal. Holmes is sort of sharing the right-back position with Estevez. Morrison and McIntyre, the centre-backs. Still no Liam Moore. Omar Richards in at left-back. Did he sign a new contract? I know there were links with him moving away. Rinomota and Lawrence, they must have started every game, mustn't they? Those two, they've barely missed a minute, I would have thought. Someone will fact check me on that, no doubt. Aluko starts. No Elise starting in this one. Swift, who scored that brilliant free kick, is in the 10 position. Ejaria, what a great dribbler and tricky player he is. And one of the leading lights up front in the Championship, Lucas Shaw, who I've questioned in terms of being able to put a consistent run of games or even a consistent season together. He's certainly doing it this season. I think 17 in all competitions from him. There's the bench. Gibson, Estevez, Onen, Elise, Tetek, Semedo, Kamara, Bulldog. So you'd be looking at Bulldog, Semedo, Elise, Estevez, Gibson probably as the 5 more likely substitutes there. That is how the table looks. So a Reading win would put them in line there with Swansea and Watford. All of them would be on 46 points, which would be quite a fun chase for second, with Norwich off in the distance, 7 points clear at the moment. Brentford, of course, will have games in hand on all of the all of the division, pretty much, other than Rotherham down there on 22. Look like they're the only team to have played less. Preston have picked up, I think it's 4 wins in 6 if you wind that form table out one more game, which is your 2 points per game, which we always look for as a barometer of a team in really decent nick. They could move up to 8th and above a faltering Stoke and a slightly inconsistent Bristol City. Speaking of inconsistent, that's been the story for Preston all season. Look, 11 wins, 12 defeats. So as many wins as Bournemouth and Borough and Bristol City above them, as many defeats as Rotherham, Forest, and I can't read across there. Sorry. Rotherham, Derby and Forest in the bottom 6. So a little bit all over the place. And as I mentioned, there is the recent form. We'll go to your comments in just a sec. Reading on the right-hand side. There is the 3 defeats in there, but across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, 4 wins and a draw. So 13 points in 8 for them. And obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in 7, actually. Alex Neil was lying in his pre-match interview, wasn't he? Or he could have just made a mistake. For Reading, sorry, am I looking at the wrong side? I'm really sorry. I looked at the wrong side. It is 4 wins in 6 for, sorry. I looked at the wrong side. It is 4 wins in 6 for Preston, of course. I was looking at Reading. My sincerest apologies for that error there. I think we'll move on from that segment and have a look at your comments. We're about 4 minutes from kickoff. Let me flip away from Chelsea and Luton in the Cup on the other channel, and we see what you guys are saying in the chat. What do we got here? Liam says, tough game to call. Thinks Reading will edge it. Chris says, Preston, poor home record, and Reading are only the second top 6 team they've played at Deepdale. Interesting quirk in the fixtures there. Afternoon to Alistair. Shane says Preston's got this, in his opinion. Afternoon to Joel. What else have we got? Alistair, tough game, but I'm confident. Tough game tissue. What does that mean? Nice finish by Tammy. 1-0 up. Loud and clear. Welcome, Nat. Good morning to QPR. Forever 2-1. Reading, Alistair's going on. Snow in London. God, plenty of snow in Bedfordshire, and it's laying, and it's not showing any signs of stopping. Ruddy's out for the season. Oh, interesting. So Preston may well be with Iverson for the duration. Sky have just put the top scorers up. So Zhao on 14, behind Tony and Armstrong on 16. You would suggest of the three, those two leading the line there, or leading the chart, have quietened down a little bit the last few games, haven't they? What's my thoughts on the ref stopping play in the Man City game because of fireworks? I didn't realise that happened. That happened in the Stockport game as well. Everyone's trying to get their little moment, aren't they? Being there's no fans in the stadium. Also have this 2-1 ready, to be honest. Certainly won't be another 3-0. Yes, they have already indeed played Elise on the bench today. If they don't need to use him, they won't. But we will see if he comes on. So strangely, the weather's better in Preston, which is not normally the case. I'm sure it's blooming cold there. The weather's better in Preston than it is down south. And here come the players. What else are we saying here? Still have nightmares about Scott Sinclair since the playoff final. Hat-trick for Scott Sinclair against Reading in the playoff final 2010-11. Obviously, 2 penalties and a bit of a tap-in. But a hat-trick is a hat-trick. And in a playoff final, only he, I'm talking championship here, only he and Clive Mendonca have managed the feat. Snow in London, surprised the national emergency hasn't been called. Shut it down. Chris says, interesting to see how Malombi does an attacking midfield position. Messrs Potter, Harris and Rout have employed him exclusively as a defensive midfielder. We'll keep an eye. Chris, the goal against Birmingham in the week, lovely ball around the corner by Sinclair, and then it was Mollenby driving and playing Sinclair through. What do I think of Swansea? Very impressive, Shane. They've got a chance this season, haven't they? They've got a chance. That parachute cartel that we've mentioned many, many times is currently a bit in tatters, isn't it? Look, Norwich first, Watford third, Bournemouth 6. It was 1, 2 and 3 for a fair old while, wasn't it? Any king of the bin yet? Not yet. You can be the king of the bin. Steph Johansson close, what, for QPR? Nice little move down the road for him. That will be. Luton borrowed our defence. Luton 2-0 down. Remember, they are playing a top half Premier League team. Pathetic by Luton so far. There we go. And here, legend. And here is the. Thank you for the super chat. I'm supposed to drink to it first, aren't I? Let's drink to that. Thank you, Anir, sir. And he becomes the king of the bin. So if anybody is going in the fake news sin bin, looks like we've got the sensible people in today, so nobody will be going in. But if they do, Anir, legend, will be the sponsor, and we will call him out. Tissue is another name for the betting frogs. I didn't know that. Not being a gambling man, I leave that to bits. Alex got himself a job. Oh, well. I suppose earning a living and feeding your family is probably more important than joining the streams. But congratulations on the new job and welcome along, Alistair. Last 2 meetings ended in away wins. Alistair says, I can assure you it's Everson will be starting every remaining games. Ripley. I remember Ripley playing for Accrington Stanley against Ipswich in a pathetic Ipswich FA Cup defeat. Thank you, Phil Special, saying shit. And it's a great way, all hail the king of the Simbin, to support the channel. We thank Anir for that. Right. let's. I think I can. Do I need my notes for this one? I think I can identify all of these players, but I'll no doubt get a couple of the new ones wrong a couple of times, and we will have a good crack at this. We have kicked off. If anybody wants a time check, let me know. We'll probably do one a few minutes into the game. If you want to try and line up your coverage with me, we have kicked off and are 24 seconds in thus far. Preston have the ball front left with Potts. It's worked out. Sinclair, long range effort by Sinclair. Decent strike, actually. Hit that well to Raphael's left, and he's taking no chances and just pops that out to the left-hand side. Strangely, I think there must have been a change since the initial lineups. Joe Rafferty is on the pitch, and he wasn't published as playing. So I don't know if there's a problem with Andrew Hughes in the warm-up or something, but Rafferty for Hughes at left-back was not what was announced. Much to my confusion. Corner in from Preston, cleared by Aluko, and he gets the bounce, and then Potts just takes it off him. 1 minute and 28 gone. Preston starting the better, that early long ranger, forcing the first corner. If Norwich can lose 3 in a row, there'll be a huge fight for 2 places. Well, yes, of course, but the likelihood of that happening feels low. And remember, the Chasers have got to get the 6 points, the 2 points per game in those few games. Thank God Elise isn't injured. Do you not think Reading should just invent an injury for Elise just to keep him out until the window closes? Lots of interest there. Right, we'll do the time check and see if you can get lined up. Often, if you're watching on an internet feed, it will be slightly behind. So I'll give you a time check at 2.5 minutes. I'll count you down 3, 2, 1. So either pause me or pause the other. 3, 2, 1. Bosh, 2 minutes 30. Played into the front there for Reeve. Sinclair's got it again on the right-hand side. Give and go between Sinclair and Mollenby. Sinclair's started the game well. He looks lively. Preston have started the game well. Going 2-0 Reading, says David. Throw in. Potts has got it edge of the box. Preston look at it from the start here, don't they? It looks like Luton have got a goal back in the other game. I won't switch screens. If anyone could let me know what's gone on there. Alan Brown's got it on the right. Sinclair again, who's had lots of touches so far. And a bit of an ambitious attempted pass there by Whiteman. And out of play it goes. Good start by Preston. Luton have a goal back. Let's try and see if I can flip and see a replay real quickly. I can see Kepper's face looking crestfallen, but I'm not going to get to see the goal, annoyingly. We'll go back to our actual game here. What's the pitch like at Preston? Much better than Chelsea by the looks of it in terms of the snow. Luton have scored. Bosh. Katie, the Wigan fan, says Naismith versus Reece James. Both playing for Wigan, of course, last season. Here come Preston again in the centre circle. Mollenby driving forward. Jordan Clark, goal scorer. If anyone can describe that Luton goal for me in the chat, I will be grateful. Davies has got it as centre back for Preston. Rafferty down the line. And here comes Zhao for the first time. So skillful and powerful. Zhao just manages to roll his man. But in the end, Davies just nicks it off him. But nothing really for Reading so far in terms of any attacking territory in the opponent's half. The 5 loans in a season thing, is that 5 in the squad at a time or 5 in general? I think it's 5 in the squad at the time, isn't it? I think you can have more than 5 loans, but you can only Is that right? Someone will let me know. How the hell the Chelsea keeper didn't save that, says Jay. Katie adds, Kepa should have saved that. Half volley sounds like from Clark, who used to play for Accrington as well, like Ripley. There we go. The incestuous 1 degree of separation of football. Right. Centre circle here. Davies steps out. Reading back in shape. Potts is tucked inside, which means that Rafferty is forward, left-hand side. Potts continues the run. He's shadowed by Rinamoto. Cross to the back post. Good catch by Raphael. Preston, better side. Rafferty is a real shame. Was excellent at the start of the season, but since the Blackburn suspension, not got in the team. And he's been all over the place. Okay. He started reasonably in this one, Alistair, but I think Alistair fancies Hughes as the left back a little bit more so. Here's Whiteman, lovely sidestep to beat Aluko there. On it goes to Mollenby. Whiteman and Mollenby, the two new signings combined in there. Mollenby's got it again. Back to Whiteman, who switches the play. Good ball, good touch by Alan Brown to bring it down. Preston, much the better side so far there, but we've seen Reading sit back and punish a few teams with their efficiency in front of goal many times this season, haven't we? So maybe Reading fans will be sitting there with their feet up going, well, you know, let's get Zhao 1v1 with one of those centre halves and they'll take that for sure. Foul by Josh Laurent on the right-hand side. It's going to be a free kick to Preston, who will likely put this one into the box. 6 minutes, 56 gone. Up comes Ben Davies, another one of the players with only 6 months left on his current contract. Michael Morrison organising at the back for Reading. Whiteman is going to take the free kick. It's right out on the touchline from the right-hand side. Good position, actually, because it's be quite easy to drop this in between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot, which is what Whiteman has done towards the back post. Good header out by McIntyre, Holmes, I think, and Richards and Zhao going to get it clear. Surely a foul there by Ledson on Zhao. And Reading win the free kick back there. Where's the coffee, Ben? I've already had 2 today, so I've got to be a little bit careful, he says, on caffeine whilst drinking a Pepsi Max, but there's less in this than there is in the vat of black coffee that I drink. Also, for those not aware, Huntington, the Cumbrian Cannavaro, made his 300th appearance for North End on Wednesday. Excellent. Long ball forward there. Aluko trying to snick in, but Iverson takes it off him. Preston try and play through the lines. Has turned back over to them in the right back position. Brown plays direct forward and is headed away by McIntyre. But turned over again. The possession stats must be heavily in Preston's favour. 83% says SofaScore. Goodness me. Rafferty plays it down the left. Reese is trying to play it into the channel for Potts. He's won the free kick. Is it snowing in East Anglia? Am I still in East Anglia in Bedfordshire? Is that class? I don't even know. It's bucketing down snow in Bedfordshire. We're expecting the rain to follow. Ben on a caffeine rush. I still sound quite slow as well today. Haven't woken up yet. Let's hope this game does so. Potts down the left-hand side, crossing position, gets it in. Morrison, well positioned, makes the clearance, and Aluko draws the foul from Rafferty. Coming up 10 minutes, Preston far and away the better side in this one. No chances really as such, though. So Reading comfortable. Raphael is going to take the free kick for Reading. Finds Richards, who surely handballs that one. And the referee, who I haven't looked up yet. Who have we got today? Oh, referee Eltringham. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it not referee Eltringham who gave a slightly dubious penalty for Preston in the watch-along we did against Bristol City? I think possibly it could have been. Back to front quickly for Preston there. Morrison heads away. Cleared down the line, but Preston have got it back immediately. Huntington. Ledson comes short, takes it off in poor ball from him. That Ejaria pinches easily. Now, can Reading have a single attacking phase here? They haven't thus far. Just keeping the ball now. Laurent to Morrison. Morrison, poor ball by him into the front. And it's going to be a throw into Preston. Rinomota thought he got fouled. Afternoon to Ben. Do a story of the championship so far, please. I'm glad he added the please on the end of that. I think we'll save that for the end of the season, graphics. We keep everything very, very up to date here. Where's the legend that is Mr. Stroud? I don't know where. Remember, Mr. Langford has taken over Mr. Stroud as our amusing referee at the moment, much to the annoyance of many championship fans. Ledson tries to feed it in. Reading's defensive shape is so solid, though, isn't it? Out comes Laurent, does really well there to drive, let's say, in NFL yardage gained, isn't it? He got his team right up the pitch there with an excellent drive from deep midfield there, Josh Laurent, who's really the only player that's come in to this Reading team this season, isn't it? It was him that gave the North End penalty. Alistair says, Ben, this is from a North End that Penn was not dubious. No need to be politically correct. It was a stone cold dive. However, I won't complain. Yeah. I know how emotional people get, Alistair, so I just throw in dubious, controversial. But yeah, we'll stick with dubious. If Morrison's still looking like a solid defender, yeah, head it, kick it type guy. But he'll rack up 40 plus appearances a season in the championship and do a decent job. I like him. Was a surprising one going out of Birmingham. Across to the back post from Preston and shepherded out easily there by Holmes, the right back. Towers of London story, hey? Norwich Arts Centre. My band supported Towers of London back in the day. Very nice, actually. Good band, good front man, that Donny Tourette. But unfortunately, going on, what was that show called with Simon Amstill? I can't think. Going on that show just kind of ruined their career slightly, didn't it? But long goal kick forward by Raphael. Davis has played Lucas João all right so far, but hey, we know João only needs half a chance to exploit that. And referee Eltringham gives the free kick in the centre circle to Reading, who push up to halfway and going to try and force a bit of territory, one would assume. Now, Laurent plays out to the left wing to Richards, who's well forward. Ejaria, it's a poor ball actually by Laurent. And they've turned it over, and Huntington plays the channel quite quickly, and Laurent has a bad 30 seconds there. He can't control that, and now Preston are going to get 30 yards up the pitch. And it is that type of game, I'm afraid. Take your starting position, play the percentage, move up the pitch and see what you can do from there. Never mind the buzzcocks. Thank you. With some very entertaining exchanges between Noel Fielding and Simon Amstill over the years. Amstill killed him. Yeah. Never pick a fight with a professional comedian. Not one that you can't... never pick a verbal joust with a professional comedian. You will lose. And he did. I always remember him saying, you're one of these to Bill Bailey, and Bill Bailey going, what, a hand? Tremendous. S-housery of the highest level. Throwing down the left-hand side for Reading, Omar Richards, whose headband appears to be sponsored by American sports manufacturer Nike. Don't know if he's got a nice, sweet little deal to wear that. Good luck to him if he has. Headed away, all a bit messy now, ball up in the air. Potts rolls his man. Great tackle by Josh Laurent there. You always wince a bit when a player goes into a slide tackle nowadays because you think a red card's only a second away, but great tackle there. Laurent wins the ball. The player doesn't fall to the ground like he's been decapitated, and on we go. Swift, probably a indication, of the dominance of Preston so far. Swift coming from the 10 position and dropping right deep to come and pick up the ball. Aluko moves down the right and he wins a throw-in for Reading. Assuming John Swift has enough trust from the manager, given his status, to move off position if he wants to, that would make all the sense in the world while they're struggling to get into the game. Reading, Swift just drops in and becomes an extra option there. Very good sort of playmaking player, John Swift. Home the ball goes. And just for the last 5 minutes, Reading have come into it here. I know the stadium's empty, but it would be a classic away. Okay, just feel your way into the game. Don't concede any chances. What have we got here? Have you seen the video of Matt Ashby's friend saying Reading won't make the playoffs? I don't know who Matt Ashby is, and I haven't seen the video, but what's his reasoning for that? Are we carrying on from yesterday with the music? Hey, I don't set the tone for the chat. Here is Aluko into the box. Oh, couldn't quite get control of it. Rinamota's in a crossing position now. In it goes from the right. Brown on the cover, heads away. Richards, excellent header to recycle to Ejaria, who plays it back. Ejaria now deep left-hand side position. He is fouled. And it's a free kick to Reading, who'll probably pop this in the box. We'll be doing a watch-along for the Borough game after this one. Sadly, Peter, I will not. And it looks like I'm going to have a very snowy dog walk. So, yeah, wish me luck indeed. Of course, Stephen, a time check. We'll give you one at 18 and a half minutes, okay? So if you're ahead of me, pause at that point. If you're behind me, pause me. Free kick to Reading. We might have to wait till 19 because I think the free kick's going to go in at exactly that point. I'm at 18-17 at the moment. Swift smashes the free kick in again. He forces Everson into a save. Iverson, I'll probably flip-flop between the two there. Swift obviously scoring a free kick from miles out the other night against Coventry, and pretty good go at that one as well. Closest Reading have been. Stephen, time check will come at 19 minutes, my friend. If you want to line up. So 19 minutes will be out in 3, 2, 1. Sync. Bosh. The old XG argument. Well, I mean, it is fair to say that Reading are outperforming their XG, but some teams are just set up to outperform their XG, aren't they? And if you've got a really good finisher up top like Zhao, then that might happen. XG can be quite accurate and can be quite revealing as a predictor. So, as I always say, when we're sort of debating XG and should we listen to it, one of two things will happen. Actually, into the box come Preston here. Mullenby. Oh, good ball by Mullenby. Potts holds it up. Potts spins and shoots. Can't hit the target. Good play by both Mullenby and Potts there. Really good play by Mollenby in the first instance, drives into the box, great low cross. And yes, a really difficult angle. Michael Morrison just managing to shepherd him out. I think he got an accidental elbow in the face there as well, Morrison, in the process. We're seeing Swift's free kick. Good save. Yeah, just back to the XG thing. I think we take it with a pinch of salt. We say this is what the XG says. If they're outperforming it, good for them. If they're not performing it, bad for them. And then one or two things will happen. The XG will be right and they'll regress to the mean, or they'll start performing the XG and their finishing will improve. So, yeah, always good to have a look at. Oh, dear. Does that mean I can open the fake news sin bin? Tremendous stuff. I can't because they're on Facebook. Can I? Oh, never mind. We'll put them in anyway. I can't do a 5-minute timeout. Anime Budai, who says goal Reading, is in. In they go to the fake news sin bin. And thank you, Anir, who is our king of the bin for today, sponsoring that show. Who's been the better side so far, asks Russ. Well, Preston were very much on top in terms of territory and possession for the first 10 minutes. Reading have started to look like Reading now, where, okay, they kind of sit, but you can see Swift is a dangerous player, Ajari is a dangerous player, and Zhao just getting 1v1 with a defender and he's trouble. The best predictor of are Reading playing well or not is where are Richards and Holmes, the fullback. The further forward they're getting, because Reading do kind of move gently and stay in shape, don't they? The further forward they're getting, Reading are having a good time. Here's Sinclair in on the right-hand side. Clips to the back post. The deep runner is Mollenby. Back it goes to Rafferty. And back out it goes to Mollenby, who's quite the influence in this Preston team so far during this game. Ledson's clipped it into the box, looking for Reese. Wins the header, actually, against McIntyre. But they've managed to get it clear. Good little attacking phase there. Ledson on halfway. Clips that into the front. It's a good ball, actually. Flicked on by Sinclair and Richards. Gets rid. Is it half-time at Chelsea? It looks like. When Ben can't stick someone in the bin. Get in the bin. Unbelievable, Jeff. Alex, good afternoon. Alex, great Ipswich YouTuber. Go and subscribe to him over on his channel. And the Offsiders as well that he's a member of. I would like to see Trump run a football club. Surely he must have had a sports franchise. A man with that much money and that bigger ego. Surely. 2-1 Chelsea. Can you give us a appraisal of that halftime? Don Ram. Oh, there you go. He's done it already. Proper happy. How are we doing since we went 2-0 down? Done much better. And yes, I think Smug Mode engaged. We all predicted that on the channel, didn't we? That Bright Samuel, they would do a deal to get in there ahead of time. And that has indeed been done. If you've been watching the channel and the transfer updates, we all kind of predicted that was going to happen. Reading have got an incredibly well-organised shape. Never move out of it, do they? Yeah, very solid team. If I were to express my true thoughts about Millwall missing out on Mollenby, I would go in the sin bin. It's been an interesting one, though, Chris, because Brighton clearly don't want to sell him. And it's had to be a loan, but you never know what's written into these contracts, whether they get first refusal or whether there's a amount that will trigger a clause or what have you. But Renan Motor has drawn a foul from Ledson there. And there is comment of the day. Ben Bloom is the best. Thanks, Leeds 2020. 21. Were you happy that you kept the Posh down to only one goal? Do you know, Peterborough won that game against Ipswich with no shots on target yesterday. So in that respect, yes and no, but that's a sad indictment of where how bad we are against the top teams in League One as an Ipswich fan. But there we go. How depressing. Free kick for Reading. Swift pops it in. Right-footed. Lucas Zhao was on the back post. Did look like a push. I think I agree with Huntington, the Preston defender. I think Zhao's quite clever there. Bit of S-housery there. Yeah, he shoves him in the back and Huntington heads it over the top. Corner to Reading. Swift puts it in. Holmes heads it down. Excuse me, McIntyre heads it down. They've recycled it down. Swift's got it right-hand side. Good ball to the back post by Swift. That was McIntyre arriving. Ejaria now. Dangerous player on the dribble. Stood up by Brown. Ejaria beats him. Standard. Ooh, and it's just cleared by Potts. Best moments there for Reading. Down the line by Richards and Laurent wins it high up. Ejaria is such a skillful, tricky player there. Wins the free kick. There can't be that many better players in the division with as quicker feet and as good a dribbling from a standing start as well as Ejaria is. He's absolutely splendid. What else have we got here? Thank you for your updates here. 2 goals for Chelsea, 1 goal for Luton. That should have been saved boring until half-time. There we go. 2 balls on the pitch. Yes, I've heard about this. One of Chelsea's goals. Yeah, they're supposed to... I don't know. I'm sure... Ooh. A possible handball there by Alan Brown, whose arm's out like that. He's not looking and it hits his hand there. There we go. That's the universe equalising itself after we said that Zhao possibly pushed Huntington. Right, free kick to Reading. Swift shoots again. Oh, side netting. He's been practicing his free kicks while he's been out, John Swift. He looks right up for all of them, doesn't he? That one was not far away at all. From the left-hand side. Oh, God. Side netting there. This will be a better angle from behind the goal. He just gets too much whip on it. To be fair to Iverson, I think he's probably getting there, but Swift looking very dangerous from the set plays. Gibbler. Trump owned the New Jersey Generals. Nice. An NFL rival team. Is that like Vince McMahon's XFL? Splendid. Ipswich are like us. Can't win against teams in the top 6. Well, we're like Bristol City in that respect, but we're not like Bristol City in that we're one division lower, don't have good recruitment, aren't a club on the up, and are generally very, very depressing. Trump is a QPR owner in the maker. Nasha says, can you do a video explaining the downfall of Ipswich? Yes, I could. I don't know how much fun it would be. Would people want to see that? First Chelsea goal shouldn't have counted. Might be biased. 2 balls on the pitch. I think they're supposed to stop, aren't they? Especially with, why are there 2 balls on the pitch as well? Especially when the players are picking them off the cones now when they're sanitised. Have I watched the QPR doc? Yes, unbelievably entertaining. Cods vlogs. Hope you're all good, Ben. 3x Cods today. Gibson and Evans on the bench. Ben Davis used to play for Fleetwood. I think Fleetwood have had some really good players, haven't they? Fleetwood struggling like Ipswich at the moment, Ben. Aren't they? The Rock now owns the XFL. Sensational stuff. Ben would cry in front of camera if he made a video. No, I would leave my bias at the door. Here is Zhao. Nice feet. Swift tries to play that inside the fullback for Ejaria. Ambitious ball, but he's pulled it off. Ejaria, shadowed by Brown, played inside there to Swift. Swift just slipped, but he's managed to bustle his way into winning. That's really good play by Swift there. Excellent, because he went for about 3 50-50 balls in a row there. So he wasn't favourite to win any of them, but he just kept it alive with Sinclair and then with Brown. And yeah, really good play by Swift. Just pokes it away from Brown there to draw the foul. He's a skillful player, Swift, but excellent determination there. And this is the best position for a John Swift free kick we've seen thus far. So it's probably about 25 yards out, just as Swift is looking to the left-hand side of the goal. So he will be able to go into either corner, I would expect. Aluko's there, but surely he's not going to take it. It's going to be Swift with the right foot. Everson's hedging his bets. He's right in the middle of the goal. Let's see which way Swift chooses to go. 4-5 in the wall with Sinclair watching the runner. Oh, Aluko. Oh, wow. Oh, goodness me. Aluko takes it, and it's just a hopeless free kick there. Obviously, his technique letting him down. Obviously planted his standing foot wrong there. But it's a terrible free kick by Aluko. It's miles over and miles wide as well. Hopeless free kick. What are you going to do? George Burley, what's he up to these days? I wouldn't like to say, but I don't think he's going to be working in football again. I think that ship has sailed now, and he's enjoying being a granddad. And you can often find him in Ipswich. Let me just say that whilst the doors were open. So Davis was on loan at Fleetwood, 16-17, played left side of a back three. Nice. Fleetwood, 8 points in 10. Dear oh me. They had a good old playoff challenge last season, Fleetwood, didn't they? Just started snowing here. Where are you, DJ Samuel? Where are you? Where are you living? Come on, you Hatters. Everything to play for. Absolutely. In the Mick Harford derby. We'll take a look at that game at half time. The best thing about this Chelsea match so far is seeing Gabby Logan at halftime. What a beauty. Now, even you've paid her a lovely compliment there, Jay. You probably get cancelled by the people of a certain persuasion for saying that. But I think it was a very nice thing that you said. Oh, David's playing Benjamin Bloom bingo here. What do you think of my jumper? And do you have a comment on my hair as well? Into the box from the right-hand side from Preston, they have won a corner. A bit more of an ebb and flow to this one now. Reading better side from pretty much 20 to 30 there. So a far more even game than we suspected in those first 10 minutes. But we know Reading is solid and tough at the back. Corner in from the right-hand side. Davis wins the first header. Potts set up for him quite nicely there. Left-hand side of the D. Just snatches at that one. Fires it over the top. There's poor clearance by Josh Laurent. It's a moving ball, but I mean, as in it's coming at him. And he fires it over the top. Does Potts. Is it Brad Potts? Get my name right. Brad Potts. So who's the Potts that plays for Luton? He's Dan Potts. Did Brad Potts used to play for Barnsley? Or is that a different Potts? Dear oh me. Just waiting for Simbin time now. You can stay out, David. We know you're kosher. Don't forget to like the vid before you will forget. He's not taking one again then. We're talking about Aluko on the free kicks. Ben, should Lambert be sacked by Ipswich, mate? Probably. I don't like calling for people to be fired from their jobs. I wouldn't like someone to call for me to be fired from mine, but it's going so badly and just doesn't look like it's going to get any better. So if I can parlay the question into would someone else likely do a better job, then probably. Here comes Mollenby down the right. Sinclair. Mollenby did well in the first instance there, but he just should have played the ball ahead of Sinclair and gave him a bit of a difficult ball to play back to him. Here come Reading on transition. Richards to Ejaria. Oof. fierce old tackle there by Mollenby, I think. Really threw himself in. You have to be so careful now. You know, if you even lay a toenail on your opponent when you do a slide tackle now that a foul's getting given, if you throw yourself in like that, there's always a chance, isn't there? That old red card is coming out. I'll come to that one next from William. In fact, I'll come to it now because the ball's gone dead. Do you think the relegation zone will stay the same by the end of the season? I think the Premier League and Championship will stay the same. Well, in terms of relegation, so who is it at the moment? Sheffield United, Fulham and West Brom. Could see Newcastle, they look in a real horrible state at the moment, don't they? Whereas Fulham have got a bit of a upward trajectory. Josh Laurent curls that one right-footed, snapshot there. Iverson makes the save to his right. Good effort by Laurent. Here is Swift. Deep central attacking position. Shadowed by Mollenby. Swift does really well to beat him. Swift inside to Aluko. He wanted the 1-2 there. Says he's obstructed. Always good fun there. An obstruction in the box there and an indirect free kick. We'll see if he did indeed get obstructed. There's Josh Laurent's shot. Just not far enough into the corner there. But the element of surprise could have beaten Iverson without the ball flying into the corner. I think Dave knows what I'm talking about. Should we leave it there, Dave? Yeah. Brad Potts was at Barnsley, now at Preston. I did get the right guy. Deary me. You want to comment on the hair? No, I really don't want to comment on the hair. We can't avoid them. Ben, Derby have conceded 3 goals in the last 10 games. Absolutely sensational defensively. And I think I'm right in saying, Lewis, under Wayne Rooney, Derby haven't conceded more than 1 goal in a game. And I think they've got 7 clean sheets in 12. And for such a dynamic, brilliant attacking player, you know, you never can tell what type of a manager a player is going to be, can you? 37-40 gone in this one. As a Leeds fan, I'm hoping Newcastle don't sack Bruce before Tuesday's game. 5-2, was it? The previous one? Boom. Oh, look at Channel Good. Reading God. I don't want to know what she's up to outside of the picture, but it does mean that into the fake news sin bin goes Channel Good. And we'll give a shout out to Annie, who is king of the bin today, the first super chatter who wins the sponsorship for the fake news sin bin. Through the lines there, Aluko to Swift, back to Aluko. Ajaria's open. Right, he's got a run at Alan Brown here. Richards on the overlap. He goes inside to Aluko. Preston doubling up there, which you need to do against Richards and Ajaria. Ajaria, lovely feet. Such a skillful player. He took on 2 there, just got nicked off him. There's a beautiful little drag and, I was going to say drag and drop there. That's what you do on your computer, isn't it? But a sort of drag and then move forward there. Big fan of Ovi Ajaria. Sort of player that gets you out of your seat if you could ever go to a game again. Keep your comments coming. We can do some of them at half time as well if they're questions. 1.7 points per game. That ain't going to get you relegated, is it, Lewis? Yeah. Derby picked up nicely after a horrible start. It's always difficult when a new manager comes in because you never know how much is just a regression to the mean and how badly the team was underperforming and how much is the influence of the new manager. It's always a little bit of both, but to what extent is always hard to tell and can only be found out long term. Motor to Holmes. Swift again dropping into that deep line playmaker spot. I'd like to see Swift's heat map. He's all over the show here. And he has it again. Aluko's dropped deep as well. So Reading players evidently are allowed to come off shape to move backwards, but not forwards. Not a bad thing. It's working very well for them. Here's Rafferty, the left back, to Ledson, to Whiteman, who's been quiet for a fair while now, hasn't he? What's your thoughts on Blades this season? Seems like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Exactly that. High foot there, possibly? No. Potts, though, recycles. Mollenby on the left wing into Sinclair, who's come off position. Mollenby, nice ball down the line. Ledson, can he get the cross in? Yes. And, Alan Brown arriving from right back. Reese, he gets out of his feet. The block's made. Brown following up. And Reading get it clear. That's the one bonus of playing Alan Brown at right back. When he does come forward and get into the box as the extra man, you've got a decent enough finisher there as an auxiliary extra attacking player. Morrison just does well enough in the first instance to put Reese off. He tries to move around. I think it was McIntyre, and then Brown arriving. Alex Neil on the touchline is like, "Come on, someone stick it in." Can't quite manage to do it. No, Sheffield United, I think the two main things, there's obviously a bit of inertia and a bit of regression to the mean when you go from League One to 9th in the Premier League in 4 seasons. You know there's going to be some kind of turbulence there. I think the issue has just been the recruitment, hasn't it? And really the only player that's been any good that they've added to their championship team is Sander Berger, the midfielder. So they just needed a bit more help recruitment-wise, didn't they, to help out those players who have essentially gone like that. People like Basham and Fleck, particularly Stevens and Baldock, gone all the way through those leagues, haven't they? And I think the inertia then sort of kicks in, doesn't it? Fair point, Chris, on Derby there. Lost all 3 matches in which they've conceded in the last 10. They need strikers. We knew that. They need the takeover. Not the best back pass there by McIntyre. Does find its way through to Raphael. Thank you, Jay. We'll have a look at Chelsea Luton at half time. Richards in the left back position. We're at 43-30, still 0-0. One of my huge pet hates there. Richards shepherds the ball out, which if you do it as it's running over the touchline is legal, but if you do it anywhere else on the pitch, it's an obstruction and a foul. There we go. Wow. How have they not scored? No big chances in this game so far. Some free kicks and some pinball in the box. Otherwise, that's it. Did you say burger? I had a curry last night. I'm still full from it. Very nice. From the Wilstead Tandoori here in Bedfordshire. There's a free plug for them. Ledson heads it on. Morrison clears. Aluko, nice turn. But he's smartly tackled there by Jay Mollenby. Lewis with some more Derby apparentlys. Omar Niase, embargo being lifted. Again, with Derby and embargoes and takeovers, when it's done, I'll talk about it. We've heard enough apparentlys from the Derby journalists for the last 3 months. It's not their fault, obviously. They're only repeating what they hear, but just none of what they've said has been solid, has it? And the takeover that they've promised 20 times just hasn't happened. So 20 times bitten, one shy, I think, for me on that one. Am I doing Reading v Bournemouth on Friday? What does the whiteboard say? Well, we won't look at the whiteboard in a sec because the electronic minutes board says 1 minute of stoppage time. And yes, it looks like we will be doing that. Who asked that? Leeds 2021. Indeedio. Don't know why I said that. I feel a bit silly for saying that now, but we will be doing Reading and Bournemouth. We'll figure out the schedule for next week as we go. Been a busy week here. Ben, Sheffield United are like Wile E. Coyote in Roadrunner. When he runs along, he realises he's in midair and then plummets. Yeah. Here come Reading. Richards to Swift, high up on the left. There's only about 5 seconds. Need to get this in the box of minimum stoppage time. They have got it. Oh, it's a good cross there, right-footed. It went over Zhao's head, but there was, I didn't see who it was, someone arriving on the far post, nearly managing to get there. Kai Gordon to Liverpool or Man United, ... apparently. That's probably more likely than most of the stories at Derby, isn't it, Dave? It's sad, but any decent young representative player just gets snaffled up by one of the big Premier League clubs and then goes out on loan for the next 10 years. Much prefer to see them stay with their parent clubs. Right. It's half time. So get any topics in. We'll go over to the Chelsea-Luton game as well. Pretty tight one. Probably only going to be one goal on this in this game maximum. Alan St. Maximum. 52-48 possession in Preston's favour. Total shots 7-5, but 2 on target apiece is level. 2 corners to 1 in Preston's favour. 4 shots inside the box to 1. And yeah, the possession nice and tight. Only 12 completed passes in it. It's a tight game. Will it be a set play? A Preston header from a corner or a John Swift free kick? Or will we see that bit of quality from Ejaria or Lucas Zhao or Michael Elise off the bench? Now, I had an issue with my lights yesterday. That one is definitely calming down. I don't want that bulb to explode. There's a light right above my head there. And it's definitely seen better days, that bulb. So, yeah, if I in panic go like this, it's because it's blown up above my head. Let's hope that doesn't happen. And let's look at the live league table, which has Reading moving on to 44 points in 5th place. Inferior goal difference to Brentford sees them potentially staying below there. Preston will be in 10th as I brighten up a little bit. I think that bulb needs changing for sure. How many useless musician YouTubers does it take to change a light bulb? Yeah, too many at the moment. I'm busy. So there's the live league table. Right. I'm going to switch channels and switch gears. That was slick, wasn't it? And we'll have a look at Chelsea-Luton, where they've played 51 minutes there. 2-1 to Chelsea. And a corner to Chelsea as we look on to this one. And we'll take some questions as well. Slammed across the box there by Ziyech. And Abraham arriving. Ben, on Sheffield United, agree with that. Recruitment has been average, having to take punts on championship players like Bogle and Lowe when newly promoted. Fulham giving Robinson 50 grand a week. Henderson, wow. Yeah, I think the recruitment initially for Sheffield United was, look, let's buy up good championship players. And if we go down, we'll come up, you know, exactly what Norwich are doing now, we'll come up super, super strong. So that much makes sense. Remember, even if Sheffield United do get relegated, they're still, as I always say with parachute teams in a massively strong position to get back. It takes some incompetence to not make any advantage, unless you're in a complete state financially and, have to sell your entire first team, which we sometimes see. So there is an argument that they come down and you build a team around Bogle, McBurney, Brewster, Lowe. Probably going to have to sell O'Connell and Berger, but with Chris Wilder there on a year one parachute payment, sounds good to me, doesn't it? Snow pouring down at Chelsea. Looks like it's stopped since Katie has said that. Snow coming down heavily at Brentford. Eek, is that going to be at risk? That's going to be a really good game, that one. It's calmed down a little bit here. Looks like it's turned into rain here in Bedfordshire. What are your opinions on under-21 teams in the EFL Trophy? Now, I get accused of sitting on the fence. I'll give you a real straight answer on this, Liam. I hate it. I just think it's rubbish. And I can tell you firsthand, having watched Ipswich play under-21 Tottenham teams and whoever, no one cares. Nobody cares, honestly. It's really bad and it's not worth happening. I suppose it's great that, a third or fourth tier team gets to play at Wembley Stadium in the EFL Trophy. But yeah, it's just dire with the under 21s. Question about that game. How far up the board scale are you? Sounded like not much happened. No, I'm not on the board scale, actually. What annoys me when I'm watching a game, especially a 0-0, is ineptitude, when it's just a hopeless game. Whereas this one's quite a good tactical battle, Reading and Preston. So far, Chelsea on the attack again. See it, edge of the box, side footer there from Mason Mount. Chelsea must be playing a pretty strong team in this one. Who are your top two to get promoted to the Premier League? Well, we wouldn't need to do any of the coverage if I answer that one. So I'll keep my powder dry on that. Tendai Darikwa, best sign in the January transfer window. Yeah, I remember him playing Katie for Forest, looking really good when Forest under Karanka were going up to second in the championship. So, yeah, he's dropped a level there for sure. Chris says Preston improved for the new signings. Agree with that. Just edged that half. Mollenby has improved since last season, adding creativity to his willingness to run and get stuck in. Good game, even though it's Gomez. Agreed on all counts there, Chris. Good comment. Not that a comment I disagree with would be a bad comment. You know what I'm saying. We're all for freedom of speech over here. And I'm not always right, for goodness sake. Agree again, do think if Blades had gone down last season and put up a good fight, we'd be near the top of the championship. Nobody would be saying anything. No. It's that it's almost unheard of, isn't it? It's only really my team, Ipswich, that have done it, as in gone up and, literally been challenging right at the top of the table. Ipswich finished 5th, didn't they, in 2001, straight after promotion. Sheffield United 9th. Obviously, Keegan's Newcastle, it's a different era, wasn't it, where the gap was less big. I think they finished 3rd, Keegan's Newcastle. I'm trying to remember. I think they're the best promoted team in recent times. Not to mention my team, Ipswich, in 1961-62, coming up from Division 2 and winning the top league in the country under Sir Alf Ramsey, who then went on to win the World Cup with England just 4 years later. You can thank Ipswich, everybody, for that. Werner has got it for Chelsea down the left. Just keeping a little eye on this one at half-time. He's been hopeless, hasn't he, Werner? Missing one-on-ones left and right. Here's Mount. Oh, nice cross to the back post by him and flicked away. Chelsea look like they're all over Luton in this game. Everything I'm watching is literally in the Luton penalty area. Ooh, diving in the box there. Sorry, that was real Gary Neville. Ooh, wasn't it? Luton player going to ground. Mount goes down. Nothing given. Goes down the Mount. That sounds vaguely biblical or something, doesn't it? Right. How close are we to second half starting? I'm going to change the channel. You keep me updated on Luton and Chelsea, those of you watching that on BBC. Keep your questions coming. I'll do a couple of plugs. Well, the next couple of questions do inevitably come in because you guys are great, and they always do. So thank you as ever to Charlie. 30 years of Laura Royal. Here's to many more. He is a sponsor of our live watch-along series here. You can support the show right now via Super Chat. First Super Chat in the stream becomes King of the Bin. That honour has gone to Annie. We thank him very much for doing so. Obviously, it goes without saying, I am jobless, and this is going really, really well, but we need your support as the subscriber base grows and we can rely more on ad revenue and big companies. We do need the support of the people watching. And with that being said, you can do so over on Patreon, Patreon exclusive content. We're going to grow that as the channel builds up, and it will hopefully get to a point where perhaps by the start of next season, we've got regular scheduled shows on Patreon each and every week, making that more and more worthwhile. But I would still recommend it. And I thank everybody who's done the Patreon subscription. On YouTube, please hit the like button, of course. Keep your comments and your questions coming, and hit subscribe and ring the goddamn bell for notifications. What else have we got in the chat here? Thoughts on the half so far? Fairly tight. I think I agree with Chris's comments. Preston had a good first 10 minutes. Reading good from 20 to 30. Preston, I suppose, with the best chance in respects of Reese and that sort of goalmouth scramble type thing. Swift coming close with a couple of set plays. Two organised teams, tight game. It's going to be a moment of quality, a set play, a mistake. It's not going to be one team sweeping the other off the park in the second half, is it? I don't think. Imagine Swansea going up low from PE teacher to Primm. It was lower PE teacher. I didn't know that. He's doing a grand old job, isn't he? Because I'm the king of the sin bin, does that mean I will never go in the sin bin ever? We cannot guarantee that, Anir. If you slander, besmirch my good name, show flagrant disrespect to my honour, I will put you in. But in the main, no. Luton close to scoring. Great save. Should have been 2-2. I think Charlie is soldiering on, Jay, with his health issues. Obviously, it's just chemotherapy, just left, right and centre for poor old Charlie. So he keeps his spirits up in the face of awful adversity. Bless him. How does it feel to be behind Accrington Stanley in the league table? I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody who is behind Accrington Stanley in the league table. They're not above Ipswich, are they? Let's find out. I don't think they are. No. Again, you'd have to ask somebody. I don't know if that was an attempt to get a bite there. Who sent that? Liam. But you'd have to ask somebody who's behind them in the table. I don't know. Big up the Rams, says ham, spam and pork chops. Good victory against QPR. Yes, indeed. Sounds like Luton have missed a one-on-one in that game. Through ball literally took 3 Chelsea players out. Interesting. See how nervous Mr. Lampard gets. If Luton can get that back to 2-2. I was going to say to 2-2, but that would have been too many twos in a row, wouldn't it? Have Sky got the Borough and Blackburn game? Looks like they're running a trail for it here. So, and might have a whole afternoon of Championship football coming up. We're having a look at Dan Johnson. Let's have a look at the benches. We can actually see what what Brentford are going to do. Their team has just been announced. So if you are looking for game changers, potentially, you have Barkhuizen, Johnson, Gallagher, Evans on the bench for Preston. And you have, oh, for goodness sake, SofaScore. Every time when I'm reading off there, it just resets, doesn't it? You have Baldock up top, maybe Semedo, Elise, who could make a difference. We'll probably see Estevez switch over at right back because they seem to be sharing that position, those players there. Let's just see what sort of a lineup Brentford are giving it. I'm sure they just announced their team. That's annoying. SofaScorer behind me. Let's do it the old school way and get it off my phone. So Brentford are going with, oh, it's a proper reserve team, isn't it? Daniels, am I still in shot? There we go. Daniels, Roslev, Pinnock, Sorensen, Stevens, Janel, Zambarek, Godas, Fosu, Kanyos, Force. So Brentford have gone light in their FA Cup game. Sounds like Luton are giving it a good go. So close. Ben, they are just below Ipswich, 2 points, but 2 games in hand. Yes, I am aware. Not above, though. Didn't they blow Brentford away last season? I don't remember. I don't recall. I know Leicester blew Stoke away in the Cup. Indy Cup for Tottenham last season. No, not last season. Last week. What am I talking about? Right, we are back. Ready for the second half. 0-0 in this one. Let me know if you want a time check. Evenly poised game. Both sides are going to have to work hard to win this one. And we are all kicked off. No changes. Let me know if you want a time check. Keep your comments coming. Questions on other stuff we can get into during lulls in play. So don't be backwards in coming forwards with your comments. By the way, I haven't plugged the Teespring shop, have I? You can buy a Benjamin Bloom t-shirt or a hoodie or a phone case or something fun over there. Go and check that out. It's just on teesprings.com or it's just underneath where you watch on YouTube. Enough pluggery from me. Thuggery. Pluggery. Josh Laurent to Richards. Swift comes short. Laurent over on the left-hand side. Nice ball through the lines to Richards, who very ostentatiously goes to ground there after Ledson catches him. Reading starting the first minute of the second half. Free kick to Reading. Swift just moves that 40-yard when referee Eltringham is not looking. And I think it's going to go in the box. Morrison forward. McIntyre forward. Put in by Aluko, left-footed. Cleared by Rafferty. Rinomota can't get it back into the box. He's had to go all the way home to Raphael. Who has to then run backwards. Just a little heart in mouth moment there. Could have been a spectacular own goal, that one, but Rinomota was so far away. Right, time check. I'll give you one at 47:30. So if you are reaching it before me, pause your Sky TV or whatever at 47:30. Or if I'm there ahead of you, pause me. Obs, just explaining to you how time works. Although wouldn't you need to be a quantum mechanic to do that? Right, we'll be at 47:30. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 47:30. Sync up. Need a t-shirt with Mick McCarthy on. Check out my video on the return of the Mick. Mick McCarthy returning as Cardiff manager on a 6-month contract. But we all know if he does well, he will be staying longer term. Mick back in the Championship. And he hasn't been there. God, when did he leave Ipswich? Late 2017-18, wasn't it? Goodness me. One of my claims to fame is that when Vardy was working, we beat his team 3-2 in the Works 5-a-side tournament, though he did meg me for a goal. Outstanding. Anyone else played against anyone who went on to have a decent career? Goal kick for Reading. Raphael boots that one down the ground. Makes you think of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael. Ledson. Strong there near the centre circle, just shrugging Swift off. Brown from right back clips that into the channel. That is no good. It's going all the way out for another goal kick. Excellent news, everybody. We can open the fake news sin bin. Goal Reading is an outright nonsense. So into timeout goes Ayub 2020. There we go. So we will not be hearing from them again because they are in the fake news sin bin. Sinclair from the right-hand side. Brown getting forward from right back here. And a lovely old time. Knocks it off to Ledson and cleared by Michael Morrison. Who's that American singer? I keep forget, not in love anymore. Is he called Michael Morrison? Things will never be the same again. Great singer. Who is that? Someone let me know. Goal Preston. Simple pleasures. PNE Nath wants to get sin-binned. In he goes. Boom. Luton have just tweeted 500 up for Coyle. 500 appearances? Surely not. What, in his career? Surely not just for Luton. He's only about 31, isn't he? 29, 30, 31? Dear oh me. Malcolm McDonald. It's Michael McDonald. Michael McDonald, isn't it? Well, I don't think it was Michael Morrison. Deary me. Malcolm McDonald was a great striker, wasn't he, for Newcastle? England striker as well. Super Mac. Brown crosses into the near post. Ooh, Mollenby was there. He couldn't get anything on it, but a little change of direction there could have fooled Raphael. Big one forward to Zhao. Now here come Reading on the break, and Zhao controls it. Ejaria, well positioned. Ejaria to the near post. Great save by Everson. That's how dangerous Reading are. Just a big goal kick booted forward early. Zhao does what Zhao does. Holds it up. Strength, skill, all that excellent mixture of skill set he's got. Plays it to Ejaria. He tries to catch the keeper out in the near post. It's a good strike, actually. Zhao flings his arms up saying, why didn't you cross it? But I think Ejaria makes the right call. Good save by Iverson there. Corner to Reading. Oh, in it goes from Ejaria. Good effort onto the roof of the net by Tom McIntyre. He scored a really lovely set play goal a few weeks ago, didn't he? It was a Luco. It was exactly the same goal virtually, wasn't it? A run to the near post and a hit on the volley. Obviously not wise to that one. Just pops it on the roof of the net. Good effort. 500 career appearances for James Collins. For a striker, that's sensational. How old is James Collins? 500. Wow. Swift, edge of the box. Reading look dangerous now. Aluko Gets it out of his feet, or does he? Oh, he's done well. Mollenby swings a good effort by Aluko there. I thought Mollenby was going to nick the ball off him. Iverson snicks it over the top there. Reading just come alive there these past couple of minutes. Good strength by Aluko and a real good effort there. Snapshot and just tipped over the top. Corner for Reading, which Swift will take. Referee Eltringham is harping on about something and has stopped the game. Right, here comes the corner. In it goes right-footed from Swift. Jaria wins their header. Laurent up with Iverson, who gets the punch, as you'd imagine, with the extra reach. Looks like Chelsea have just gone 3-1 up. So I'm going to flip channels and see if we can get there early enough today for this goal. Chelsea go 3-1 up. I'm currently on BBC. Oh, has Tammy got a hat-trick? Sensational. Let's have a look. Through the lines and out to the left-hand side. Lovely give and go. It's a brilliant goal, actually. Who set that up? Really good attacking play down the left. Give and go. Low ball across the box and a tap in for Abraham. It's Callum Hudson-Odoi who's set that one up. It's a really nice goal, actually. Anyway, let's switch back to the game that we're actually doing the watch-along on. Abraham hat-trick. Boom. Yes, Tammy. And some Bristol City fans, pleased to see that. Maybe some Villa fans as well. Abraham, a cheat code in the Championship, wasn't he? Just guaranteed goals. Reading players warming up on exercise bikes there alongside the pitch. Interesting. I haven't seen that since Big Sam at Bolton. They used to have that, didn't they? Collins is only 30, 500 games up. That's sensational, isn't it? Looks like a repeat of Barnsley-Chelsea 2008 in the next round. James, not a repeat of Barnsley-Chelsea earlier in the League Cup this season, which was 6-0, wasn't it? Or 6-1 or something. Fulham-Burnley lineups out. Anyone gone strong in that one? Anir? 55 gone. Ledson has his hands up, pleading his innocence. He's probably quite close on the old totting up process to a yellow card, isn't he? I was going to say just catching Zhao, but smashes into him and takes him down. Free kick to Reading. Swift. Poor delivery by him. But they've got it back, Reading. Is he going to get another go? No. All the way back to Raphael, who goes long. We don't talk about that game. Sorry for bringing it up. Here is Aluko down the right, who looks like he's playing well in the second half. Laurent, central, plays that out to Omar Richards on the left. Richards into Zhao. Zhao receives it, gets it out of his feet, so strong, can't force a shooting position. Nice little back heel to Rinomota, out to Swift, crossing position, right-hand side. Excuse me, that was Holmes' right-hand side. Similar build and haircut. Rinomota, strong in central midfield there, plays it back to Morrison inside his own half. Rafferty wins it off Aluko. And Rafferty plays it back into the centre-back positions. There is your Fulham team. Thanks, Anir. And as we imagined, looks quite a lot like the promotion team from last season, doesn't it? Give or take the odd new arrival. Emil Rees has fouled Michael Morrison. Sounds like I've got a doggy visitor outside. Raphael clears. 57 gone. Sinclair in the centre circle. to Whiteman, Davies, Rafferty forward from left back, plays it into Reese, and Reading have won that one back with Rinomota. It's just not quite sticking for Preston at the moment. I think Reading are just on top in this one. Sheffield Wednesday's chairman's brother lived down my road. Sensational. Bet Luton are glad to see the back of Abraham as Giroud comes on. World Cup winner. Reading need to bring on Elise. Yeah, maybe not just yet, but we think that one will happen fairly soon, don't we? Sinclair in off the right. Nice ball to Reese. Holds it up. Tries to get it back to Sinclair, who'd continued his run. Ball hits referee Eltringham, and he will have to stop the game now. Tried to give the advantage. And it's going to be a drop ball which goes straight to Preston. Quite happy for this to end a draw. Goalless, says Jeff. My bias is alive and well. Nice to see you admit it, Jeff. Sometimes people pretend they've left their bias at the door when they clearly haven't. That's naughty, that. We have a word for that. It's called disingenuous, isn't it? So I'd much rather people were like Jeff and said, look, this suits my team. Draw. Kick about with King Eric on the schoolyard. That sounds fun. Right, time check. We'll give you one at 60 minutes, Annie, which is about 30 seconds time. So if you're ahead of me or behind me, get yourself straight. Preston advancing down the right here. Ledson clips the crossing right-footed. Raphael didn't feel comfortable with that, so he just flips it over the top of his own crossbar. It's going to be a corner for Preston. Good run from midfield from Ledson. Time check for 60 minutes. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1 is now coming. 3, 2, 1. 60 minutes. We are at the hour mark. Hopefully you are synced up and watch the action at the same time as me. I leave my bias and optimism at the door. You certainly do, Jay. In it goes. What is optimism if not bias? Well, no, clearly two different things, but you know what I'm saying. Here is Brown. Nice crossing by Brown to the back post. Reese brings it down, sets it up for Potts, but nicked off him by Holmes. Reese tries to pull an Ejaria on Ejaria, take him on the edge of the box on the left-hand side. Does not manage to do it. I think Liam is right now. We're going to go into substitution mode, isn't it? And it's, can either of these managers change the game in a desirable way for their side? Let's have a look at the benches one more time. Well, I would do if I wasn't still on trying to find the Brentford team from about 10 minutes ago. We haven't used the split screen, have we? So if you are the Preston manager, you could bring Ched Evans in up top. You could bring Tom Barkhazen in up top. Daniel Johnson would be the one, maybe in the 10 position. You could bring Paul Gallagher in central midfield to keep the ball a little bit better. If you're Reading, you could bring Sam Baldock in alongside Lucas Shaw or as a runner in the 4-2-3-1. You could bring Michael Elise in, which might be the desirable run, or Alpha Semedo in as a number 10. And we expect we'll see Estevez for Holmes as well at right back, because that seems to be the done thing in that position for Veljko Paunovic. Preston advancing down the right there and winning the throw-in. 62-15 gone in this one. 0-0. Will there be a winner for me to get excited about? Mollenby crosses in from the right, cleared by McIntyre. Swift, they've given it back. Huntington boots it up in the air. Good header by McIntyre, clear. But Mollenby's scooped it up. Mollenby to Rafferty to Whiteman. That's poor from Whiteman. I think he wanted Ledson to make the run in on goal. Ledson pulled off and not on the same wavelength. Do I remember a mad FA Cup tie at Bramall Road, Blaze 4, Ipswich 3? Absolutely, I do. 2004, 2005, are we thinking? I think that season as well was the mad where Ipswich were 2-0 down to Sheffield United with 10 men and came back and won 3-2 in the days where Ipswich would do fun things like score goals and make comebacks and win games and all of those things you love to see as a football fan. And maybe don't see if your team stinks it out for 15 of the remaining 16 years. What are you going to do? A long chat going on between Paunovic and John O'Shea there and one of his other assistants. A completely unnecessary corner given away there. I think did the throw-in get touched? I know there's weird rules about throw-ins. You can't score from one, but is it a retaken throw if you just throw it straight out for a goal kick or a corner? I don't know. Oh, we got a penalty in the Chelsea game. Werner on Clark, says Twitter. Corner goes in for Preston. If this goes dead, yeah, I will. Aluko draws the foul, so we'll go over. So here comes the penalty. Who's taking this one? Timo Werner, if anyone needed a goal. Expensive misfiring striker Werner against Luton keeper Sluga. 4 or 5 steps right-footed it's going to be. 85 minutes gone. 3-1. Oh, God. Werner misses the penalty to Sluga's left. He just can't buy a goal, poor guy, can he? Deary me. Missed penalty there, or, sorry, someone always pedantically corrects me. Saved penalty there from Timo Werner, who just can't score. Great save. Saved, says Katie. Great save, says Jay. Tight offside there. Back home on John Swift. In our actual game, I'm going to sneeze. Now I've said that, I'm not going to. Is always the way. Free kick. Down the ground from Dan Iverson. Big header by Michael Morrison, who's not Michael McDonald, the American singer. Ooh, good feet there from Iverson in the goal from Preston. Had to control that one and get it down and clear it on the half volley with Lucas Zhao sprinting at him, and Iverson does well. Fake sneeze news. Oh, thanks, Chris. Mollenby booked for a high foot while you were away. Thank you, Chris. If anyone needs a goal, it's Werner. Watch this then. Absolutely. I was laughing at the sheer irony of it. Is that irony? It's not really irony. The sheer misfortune of it. Not at him, with him. At the situation, not at him. I'm a nice guy. So you go, poor guy Timo. There you go. I agree with that. What are you on about, ye thura? I don't know what that means. I hope it's not obscene. In the bin. Aluko down the right. Deep cross attempted, but doesn't get past the first man. Reese heads it back. Here come Preston on transition. But Rinomota and Laurent are decent, aren't they, in terms of a defensive double pivot? Not a lot gets through those two. Ejaria, strong. Holds it up and plays it left-footed out to the left-hand side to Omar Richards. Swift. Zhao. Oh, dummies the shot. just overcooked that one a little bit. So dangerous when he in those dribbling positions. Is he going to shoot or not? Into the box is Laurent. And has that gone out for a corner? Holmes had got forward from right back, tried to head it goalwards. Just Zhao's in those positions where he does the dummy shots and you don't know whether he's going to dummy it and beat you. That looks like a corner. What have we got there? Yes. Just flicked up in the air off Potts' heel. I hope Holmes is okay. Looked like he headed the back of White Man's head there. Looks like he is. Aluko goes short. Swift back to Aluko. Changes the angle. Decent cross in. Surely. Oh, good save by Iverson. Really good corner there for those of you who are in stadiums and everyone moans when a short corner's taken there. That was a really good one. Oh, it was offside in the end. But they changed the angle. Looked like a tight one, actually. And a decent cross in. Yeah, there's at least 2 offside. Morrison heads it against McIntyre. And that triggers the offside. Preston getting their defensive line there. Chelsea, big price strikers have been a problem. Yeah, they have actually, haven't they? Apart from Drogba, who's a very good big price striker. But yeah, they've had a few misses there. Torres, Morata, Shevchenko, I agree with all of those. Right, here comes Tom Barkhuizen. So the first big sort of change of the game. Emil Reese comes off. So Ched Evans doesn't get a go. Why have I got one loose hair? It's impossible because this is not a mirror image to get rid of that. There we go. Needs a wash, doesn't it? Not good. On comes Barkhuizen. Bit of extra pace, certainly, and a bit of dribbling ability up top from him compared to Reese. Free kick goes in the box, headed away by Reading. We're coming up 70 minutes. Here is Barkhuizen. And it's all the way through. You can just imagine Timo was also laughing along as well after missing that. Well, he'll be in trouble, won't he, if he was, but internally, possibly. Zhao charges down a Luke. Rafferty doesn't quite run for a Luco. 3 added mins at Chelsea, where Chelsea are going through. 3-1. Here's the watch-along, headed for a 0. When did we last have a 0-0 on the watch-along? I can't remember. We've had 3 or 4 this season, haven't we, for sure? But Stoke-Watford was good the other night, wasn't it? Headed away by Morrison on halfway. Bit messy here. Bit direct, bit congested. Both teams squeezed up within sort of 10 metres each side of halfway. And another foul given on Mollenby this time. Coventry, says Carl. Coventry? Who did we do Coventry against? I can't think. Would you take Lee Bowyer as your next manager if you got rid of Lambert? Absolutely, yeah. Although he's struggling a bit at Charlton at the moment, isn't he? Just need a competent manager at Ipswich, and Paul Lambert is struggling to produce that. Cov Brum, City Watford. Thanks, Enid. So we've only had 2. That's sensational if that's true. And just perpetuates the fake news that gets spread about the frequency of 0-0s in the watch-alongs. Watch this one end 0-0 now. Potts down the left. Barkhazen, Mollenby. Nice feet by him. Potts, Mollenby. Headed away. There's no space to play in here now, isn't it? I think my next door neighbours have decided that the kids can go out in the snow. They tend not to cohabit. They've got 3 kids next door, bless them. 2 brothers and a girl. And whatever happens, one of the brothers just ends up completely unhappy and wailing, if you can hear that down the mic. Not saying I'd be any better as a parent, but there you go. Favourite comedian. Can I class Ricky Gervais as a comedian? Probably him. Larry David, does he still do stand-up? Larry David or Ricky Gervais, for sure. And there is very good, you can find it on YouTube. Ricky Gervais interviews Larry David. So he follows him around for a bit. Get a goal, Preston. Keep my bet going. Are you on an acca, Carl? In it goes into the box from the Preston free kick, wide left. Some pushing and a shove in there. I tell you what, Lucas Zhao does a good job defensively at set plays, doesn't he? We always refer to Jeju for Bristol City as the best guy for that, striker coming back. But Zhao does a good old job as well. Raphael's going to take the free kick. Veljko Paunovic still has got Michael Elise and Alpha Semedo to play with. I wonder if he doesn't make 2 changes at once here. I think he may just do that. Holmes hooks clear. McIntyre, sorry. McIntyre and Holmes mixed up all blooming afternoon, haven't I? Idiot. Down the line it goes, looking for Barkhazen. Preston win the throw-in. Ledson. Nice turn by him. Barkhazen plays it around the corner. Laurent here. Come Reading on transition where they're dangerous. Richards forward from left back. It's back with Swift, who's been pretty deep this game, hasn't he? I suppose that's some kind of testament to Preston, isn't it? They're forced him back. There's John Swift's heat map there. And you can see his most common place receiving the ball is in a deep left central midfield position there. So that says a lot that Swift has been forced back. Richards inside to Swift, now advancing. He's going down the left-hand side of the box, tries to back it. Oh, great play by Swift. He's made space. Can he get a cross in now? He favours the right foot, plays it back to Richards. Edge of the box, Rinomota. Oh, it looked like a good opening there, but they're just a bit too slow. Richards has got it back now. Richards down the line to Swift. Will he cross with his left foot? He won't do it. He crosses right-footed in the end. That's going to deflect out for a corner. Lucas Zhao probably rightly is yelling at John Swift there and suggesting, look, it needs to come in earlier than that. So here comes Alpha Semedo for Shone Aluko. Whether he'll play wide or they'll have a little rejig up front, we'll see. Semedo often plays number 10, doesn't he? But at the moment, John Swift is in that role. It's a corner for Reading. Swift is going to take it from the left-hand side, right-footed. For some unknown reason, referee's got that completely wrong. Swift's been asked to move that back. It's clearly overhanging the line. In it goes from John Swift. Good delivery. Head out by Huntington. Richards tries to pop it back in on the full volley there, right-footed, and out it goes. Let's get back to the comments. Borough and Blackburn teams are out. We'll have a look at that at the end of the stream, or if we get a lull in play. My favourite comedian is Aitor Karanka. Yes. One change for Borough, Spence in for Dykesdale, Ashley Fletcher on the bench. Interesting. I suspect Warnock will enjoy Fletcher, won't he? Tom Stade, very funny. Never heard of him. Interesting. Louis C.K., yeah, I like Louis C.K. Although, didn't he get cancelled in one of those horrible mob things? Crossed in from the right. Good attack there by Preston. Mollenby got forward. He's had a pretty good game, actually, hasn't he? Loaded into the back post by Rafferty. Mollenby was there again, and it's going to be a goal kick. 1-1 will make me a millionaire, says Malith, if I've not butchered that name. Come on, Preston, says Court. Is Tony suspended, available for the Swans match, or is he still suspended? No, he got 2 yellows, didn't he? So he will be back for Brentford Swansea, which we're all very much looking forward to. Right, here comes Daniel Johnson. Mollenby's come off. I guess Johnson's going to go and play number 10. He was pointing to somebody. Whether Barkhazen is going to stay up top. We'll see whether there's any kind of reshuffle. It makes sense for Johnson just to drop in the number 10 position. Or maybe he's gone 2 up top there. Interesting. We'll see what Alex Neil is going for here. Certainly pointed to someone as if to say, go and play over that side. Come on, 2-1. Unlikely. 10 minutes to go. 0-0. Karen Carney said Mason Mount will be happy with the 3 points today. She's not having a very good time of it at the moment, Karen Carney. She was the journalist that said Leeds won the title because of COVID, or something to that nature. So, yes. Obviously, I never say anything dumb like that, do I? Not that often. Here is Swift. Swift crosses it in, right-footed. Zhao. Oh, he managed to out-muscle. It looked like Rafferty. They both had their arms all over each other there. Zhao obviously wants the penalty. Oh, is he giving it? Oh, referee Eltringham has given the penalty, I think, in consultation with the linesman. Now, if only we had a video system to check this stuff. So Swift crosses it in. Well, to be fair, it doesn't look like Rafferty's... he's not facing the ball. He falls... He's got his arm around Zhao. Can we get a better angle than that? Right, here we go. No, it's a penalty. Yeah. I don't see a pull from Zhao, and I do see the arm round from Rafferty. So there's a yellow card come out. I guess that's someone disputing that decision. Daniel Johnson is holding on to the ball. We don't know if a penalty's been given. Rafferty's a silly boy. Whether this gets given or not, he does have his arm round Lucas Zhao and doesn't appear to be making any kind of sensible play for the ball. We've had a couple of interesting ones from referee Eltringham with Max Aarons against Reading and with, who was it? It was Scott Sinclair against Bristol City. This one looks a little bit more of a solid case to me. I also would say, so Paul Huntington's got booked, presumably for complaining. Right, the penalty has been given. Honestly, people always ask me to give a decision one way or the other. I don't think he's got that one wrong. It's very silly from McIntyre there. Zhao just out-muscling potentially. He doesn't appear to foul McIntyre. McIntyre, when the cross comes in, is facing the wrong way with his arms around Lucas João. So what are you going to do? Here comes João from the penalty spot. Could be a decisive call. Here comes João. Right-footed. Oh, he's put it wide. Wow. Well, for those of you who thought that wasn't a penalty, justice will be done. And one of the championship's top strikers doesn't even hit the target from the spot there. What a miss. Goodness me. Sends the keeper the wrong way, but it's the cardinal sin. Wide of the post, does not even hit the target. Lucas João there. Oh, Ben Whiteman. Brilliant bit of S-housery there behind him. Really fist pumps on the miss. Unbelievable scenes. Right. Let's be honest. We've just got the best angle from Sky there. It's definitely a penalty. The angle we haven't seen was from behind the goal. We saw his arm around him. He was proper tugging the shirt. So now he's missed it. Definitely a penalty. But missed. Goodness me. Wow. Let me know if you agree with me. I think it's a definite pen, having seen the last angle. So well done to referee Eltringham and the linesman. But missed. Not very well done by Lucas João. Goodness me. Here we go again, says Nath. Another dodgy penalty. I don't think it was. I think it's definitely a penalty, having seen all of those angles. Now, we've seen one pen saved today. Surely not another one. Well, it wasn't saved, but it didn't go in for sure. Karen Carney also took part in the riot at the Senate. Of course, he did. They should call you up, Ben, instead of VAR, BAR. Ben assisted refereeing, hey? Well, I'd be one of the only people talking about it on the internet that actually reads the laws, wouldn't I? Rather than making up this claptrap that we see. But there we go. BAR. Okay, there's a t-shirt. There we go. Go on, says Nath. Yes, says Dave. Unbelievable, Jeff. Come on then, Preston. I think that is pen. Wrong side, I agree. And that was a dreadful penalty. I agree on both counts there. Wow, Ben's like 2 pens, 2 missed, hey? I don't know. On comes Ched Evans for Scott Sinclair, 85 gone. So presumably Evans will go up top and Buck Hazen will play down the right. 2 in a row as he missed, Lucas João. Not good. Swift should have taken that penalty. With hindsight, he most definitely should. Definitely a pen. Brave decision by the ref wasn't it? Yeah, they got that one. They got that one right. We're the first to criticise on here, so well done, referee Eltringham there and his linesman. It took me watching 4 replays, and only on the last angle did I say definitely a penalty. So fair dues. Give it to Werner. There we go. Opinions on Manning's performance yesterday. Would you start him over Bidwell against Brentford? You tell me, William. Did you watch? I was super streaming yesterday, but Bidwell's had such a good season, and they've had such a good balance at wing-back Swansea with Bidwell and Roberts that I'd put Bidwell back in likely, but I'll obviously happily listen to your feedback on that one. So huge chance there for Reading. That'll mess your XG up, won't it? For those people who were looking at Reading outperforming the XG, well, that's a 0.77 chance missed there. So they'll be underperforming it today, you would think, for sure. Ledson is definitely going to get booked now. Throws himself into a tackle. In fact, Eltringham might book both Ledson and Whiteman here. I suspect he will, in fact. Ledson's had about 5 fouls today, hasn't he? Oh, naughty one, that one on Swift. I think that one's called a tactical foul. The old classic, pointing at the ball after he takes the guy out. Footballers, dearie me. Oh, we get to see inside referee Eltringham's notebook there. Wonder if they all use the same system in there. Probably do, don't they? Free kick to Reading. Swift is going to put this one in the box. 87 gone. And it goes to the back post. Don't think they were going to get a penalty for that one, especially after the first one got given. Potts just too strong for Holmes on the right-hand side. The curse of penalties. There we go. If anything ever happens and I'm watching it, I am the curse. Played amazing, got an assist and won the pen. To be honest, I'd have been good. First world problems there for Swansea. Two decent left wing backs. Ozil finally gone, has he now? I've only taken one penalty in a competitive game in my life and missed it. So I love it. Absolutely love it. We're professional. Miss it. I said that in Kevin Keegan's. I should have said that in Kevin Keegan's voice. I absolutely love it. You know me, I'm terrible at voices. Billy Sharp scores goals, just saying. Okay. He would have netted that penalty, wouldn't he, for sure? So with Troy Deeney, the master of the down-the-middle Larapit Championship penalty. 88 gone in a game that looks destined to end 0-0. See what I've done there? I'd like to be wrong. Will we get a late goal? Ben Whiteman did also get booked, which I think, again, is the right call by referee Eltringham, who we have to say has done well, certainly in the last 10 minutes of this game. Got that big call right. Lucas Zhao didn't get his big moment right. I never missed a penalty, and I'm proud of that. Ricky Lambert, yeah, he used to hammer him, didn't he? Ejaria moving down the left-hand side, great close control, and then some not so great close control. Deeney doesn't even miss down the middles. Ewan, I was lucky enough to be at Watford for that last game on Wednesday, and the Barnsley keeper, Walton, was proper sledging Deeney beforehand. He was like up yelling at him, I know where you're going to put it. I know you're putting it down the middle. Gets two hands to it and still doesn't save it. Deeney obviously sledged back after he scored the penalty. I think there's some sledging going on in the neighbour's garden. But I'm here all week. Here's Swift inside the box. Nice feet from Swift. Back to Laurent. Swift is still open for the cross. Inside to Omar Richards. Surely to Swift now. Swift engages the fullback. Crosses it in. Nice ball by Swift. Diving header clear. Recycle back into the box. Not a good ball. As the clock ticks over 90 minutes. 3 minutes stoppage time to go in this one. Sorry, 3 minutes minimum stoppage time for the incredible correction that I will inevitably get if I don't say that. Peter Duffield, best penalty taker at the Blaze, never missed one. God, Marcus Stewart for Ipswich. Poof. He ain't missing a pen. Well, they did miss one for Sunderland against Ipswich. Actually put it wide of the post, incredibly. I couldn't believe my eyes. Snow down south. God, plenty of it for the last 2.5 hours there. William says, I've got a great penalty story. I never scored a goal before I won a penalty. The manager told me to take it. I scored the pen, run to the halfway line, but the ref didn't blow the whistle. So I took it again. Same thing. Got a yellow card on the third try. I scored again and celebrated for the third time. That one counted. Lovely stuff, William. Needless to say, you had the last laugh. I had a terrible day sledging. It all went downhill. That sounds like a Tim Vine joke. There's a comedian I like, Tim Vine. Someone was asking earlier. Pen behind the ear, which always gets a mention on here. Oh, nice ball around the corner by Evans. Potts into the box. That's easy for Raphael. 90 seconds of the minimum stoppage time remaining. Headed back home to Iverson. And this one is looking like a 0-0. .92 up on the clock. Headed away by Morrison, the big ball forward. Thrown down the line by Rafferty. Potts trying to keep it alive. And it's turned over. Last chance, maybe, for Reading now. Oh, lovely ball through by Laurent. Brilliant ball. Here comes Ejaria. We've got literally 10 seconds to go, and Ejaria can't sort his feet out. I think that's going to be all she wrote. It's a brilliant pass by Josh Laurent in the first instance. And Veljko Paunovic furious as the full-time whistle goes because Reading missed a penalty with 10 minutes to go. Very surprisingly, Lucas João, who we've been praising all broadcast, couldn't do the job from 12 yards. Let's have a look at the numbers in that one. 49-51 possession in Reading's favour. 11-8 shots in Reading's favour. 4 shots to 2 on target in Reading's favour. 5 corners to 4 in Reading's favour. And 1 big chance to 0 in Reading's favour. Tight game. They edged it. But as soon as you throw the penalty in there, you have to say Reading should be winning that one, given that situation. Let's have a look at the live league table, which doesn't really need to be live because the game is over. And you can see Reading missing the chance there to go on to 46 points. However, solid at the back, clean sheet. They get the draw, on they go. But they will really, really feel that they should have won that game with the missed pen. And Preston will think, okay, 0-0, 10 minutes to go. You're facing a penalty. They've got away with one there. Even though outside of that, it was tight, wasn't it? But I think you'll all agree with me that given a penalty 10 minutes to go, you should be winning the game. Right. Get your final comments in on this one. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm on Blue Monday podcast duty tonight, so you will see me again for the review show, which will be tomorrow, I think, at 1 p.m. We'll try and get everything all wrapped up in terms of Championship, FA Cup, featuring Championship teams, dearly departed, etc., etc. Nick says, oh, well, played okay. Massive chance to make it 2-2. Back to the league. That's a Luton fan, indeed. Top effort, Ben, enjoyable. Thank you, Dave. Probably a fair result overall. Costly miss by João. I may be biased, but thought Mollenby was man of the match, possibly Laurent. Yeah, I'll take both of those suggestions as perfectly reasonable suggestions for man of the match. Keep safe, QPR forever. Cheers to Iain. I like this review show tomorrow. No Birmingham defeat in that one. No. Thanks, Ben. Great stream. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Come and join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. if you want to hear me lament about Ipswich with my colleagues on Blue Monday. That'll be on at 7:30. I'm going to be on a Crew Alexandra podcast as well in a few minutes. And I may well be on a Sunderland one too. So we'll be all over the show going forward. Thank you, David. Leeds 2021. Ben and Lee. Oh, hope the dog is okay. David, thank you for joining our Superstream sponsor. Catch you on the next one. And all that remains for me to do is say goodbye. And it is an over and out from me. Preston 0, Reading 0. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.